Well folks, good morning from a windswept and rainy day in the good old Mourne Mountains. Welcome again to Whitebeard's Kitchen. What I'm going to do today is a chicken tikka masala. It'll be no doubt a little bit sometimes my twist to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make up the marinade for the chicken tikka. First of all, what I'm going to do is add 2 heaped tablespoons of Greek yogurt to the bowl. I have here some tomato puree. It's just tomato paste. I've mixed it with water, so a heaped tablespoon of that. I have the good old Coleman's English mustard, so I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of it. What do you call it? So just add it in, and it is probably good old mustard that many of us use here in good old Ireland or the UK. I'm going to put in roughly just about half a teaspoon of black pepper, okay, roughly about a tablespoon of kasuri methi or fenugreek leaves. So I'm just going to crumble those in the palm of my hand. I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of the Kashmiri chili powder. In actual fact, to heck with it, we'll make 3 because I have roughly about 1.2 kg of chicken. I'm going to add in roughly 2 teaspoons of good old mint sauce. If you have fresh mint, by all means use that. I'm going to add in salt, obviously, roughly a teaspoon of salt. Okay, that's that. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of paprika. Okay, so that's my paprika. I'm going to add in roughly half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. The juice of half a lemon. Don't want the lemon pieces going in, or the pips, but if the pips go in, not to worry, be able to pick these out. So that's roughly tablespoon of lemon. Right, I'm trying to think if there's anything that I have forgot. I don't think so. Hopefully not. Blitzed this earlier. I used 2 medium-sized onions, 2 tablespoons of garlic, 2 tablespoons of ginger, 2 green chilies, and just blitzed that up in a blender. I'm going to add out of this 2 teaspoons of that. I'm going to use mustard oil rather than vegetable oil, just for a change. Have this lurking in the back of my cupboard. Probably is slightly more authentic, but hey ho, everybody has a slight twist and everything. So it's roughly about, I'm going to say 3 tablespoons. Going in, just eyeballing that. That is it now, I think. So what I'm going to do is find another spoon. Surprise. It seemed to disappear in this house. And just give that a slight mix together. I'm just going to add in, this will be a 3rd tablespoon of yogurt, so just add that in roughly, just to make it. And of course, my old usual, back to licking my fingers. But don't worry, I'm going to wash my hands anyway, once I dump the chicken in. And before I mix it, so just give that a good mix. Make sure that's all well combined. Okay, so this is roughly about 1.2, 1.3 kilograms of it. I'm just using chicken breast, so rather than thighs, I prefer thighs. Just I hadn't got any. I left these out by mistake last night, thinking, didn't read the packet. So in with the hands. Nothing like getting your hands dirty. Okay, so just going to wash my hands, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this into the fridge. Ideally overnight, that would be great, but I'm going to marinate this probably for at least 2 hours. Okay folks, so this is my marinated chicken. What do you call it? It's been marinating for 2 hours. What I do is I put this into the oven. I have it at 220 degrees centigrade in a fan oven. I'll let you work that out in Fahrenheit. This is chicken breast, so it won't take as long. So I'm going to say maybe 20 to 25 minutes, so just keep an eye on it. Sometimes there might be a slight bit of juice or water come out of the kitchen. You want to empty that out, so I always check it. I should have said this before. Normally, as I say, I like chicken thighs, so I'm going to pop this into the oven and as I say, for 20 minutes. So here we are, folks. That's the chicken tikka done. But what I did this time to get just that, a couple of some better gnarly, those dark bits, I popped it in under the grill or broiler, it might be in the United States, and gave it a bit of a blast in under it. Okay, folks, so what I have in here is roughly about 3 to 4 tablespoons of mustard oil, and if you remember I had that in the marinade. So in with 4 green cardamom pods, 2 small pieces of cinnamon stick, or you could have 1 slightly larger piece, 2 bay leaves. Stir that round just to bring out the flavour, and what I'm going to add in now is half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. And what I have, and I'm going to add to the oil now, is roughly about 4 ounces of butter. You say have these down kind of low, I don't want to be burning the cumin seeds. So the onion, garlic, ginger and green chilli that I made earlier, my onion paste, I blasted that in the microwave just for about 5 minutes, covered obviously so it didn't splatter everywhere. So I'm going to put that in now. So I'm going to put this on to like kind of about medium. And I want to cook this through, because I've started the cooking process by microwaving it, put it in, maybe cook it for about 5 to 7 minutes. I don't want the onions going too brown, but I will keep an eye and check on it because I don't want it to burn. Okay folks, so I've just checked this and had the lid on for about 3 minutes or so. I don't want it to dry up. I'm just going to add a tiny splash of water, and this is the water that I kind of picked up all the remnants from the onion paste that I made earlier. So just added I'm going to add another wee taste, maybe 3 tablespoons in. Turn that to medium to high, and just let that cook. Just keep an eye on it. I don't want it to burn. Okay, so the onions have cooked nicely. Not totally dry, which is great, and nothing stuck. So now in with a tomato paste. So what I have used, the old cheapo version, I used a crushed can of tomatoes or chopped tomatoes, just blitzed that up, and with that tablespoon of tomato puree that I had left, mixed it in with that. So that's going in now. I'm going to put this to medium, just to high. Give it a bit of a mix through for a few moments or a few minutes, just to take the tartness out of the tomatoes. So give that a good stir. Don't want anything sticking again. Just off there checking how much of the chopped tomatoes, the tin, it was 400 grams. So as I say, with that tablespoon of the tomato paste that I had, which is just made up of tomato puree and just a few drops of water. Okay, so I'll be back once I have cooked this down a little bit and just remove the tartness. Okay, so now I'm going to start adding the spices in. Half a teaspoon of mild Madras curry powder, or if you have a mixed powder of your own, certainly by all means use it. 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, and I've turned my heat down to low. A tablespoon and a half of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of Kashmiri chili powder. Give that a bit of a stir. Just release some of the flavours of the spices. And I say keep those at a low. I don't want the spices to burn. Optional, and this is optional. You don't have to do this. If you remember, I did have paprika in on the marinade for the chicken. So what I'm just going to add in here is just half a teaspoon. There's a nice light twist on it. Just a little interesting fact when I'm stirring this. I did a chicken chutney on my channel a few months back. That curry was made in Scotland. And I have to be honest, Chicken Tikka Masala, probably the UK and maybe Ireland's favourite or national dishes, I don't know, certainly was at one point. It was founded, and I know there's arguments over, I know the chicken tikka is done in Pakistan, but it was a Pakistani gentleman who opened a restaurant in Glasgow in the late 60s, and in the early 70s he was doing the chicken tikka, not the masala that I had showed earlier, and apparently one of his customers complained about it. So he then, the name of the gentleman is Ahmed Aslam. who opened his restaurant. And in the early 70s, as I say, the complaint from a customer. So he wondered what to do because the chicken is kind of dry, I have to be honest, the way it's cooked, whether it's done on tandoori or not. He rushed in, and as the story goes, got a tin of tomato soup, added some spices to it, added some cream to it, and hey presto, Chicken Tikka Masala was born. So there we are. Little history lesson. So you could say this is another Scottish curry, if you like. Well, I'll probably be ripped to shreds about that, but however. I'm going to turn this up to medium. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some water. And if you're wondering why that colour of this water, so this is probably maybe about 4 tablespoons, or maybe 5, maybe 4 tablespoons. Again, I'm going to eyeball this. This was from the masala paste, or the masala marinade that the chicken was in. So waste not, want not. I don't believe in wasting anything, and I'm picking this up from a lot of the Indian chefs that I would watch. You know, they really do make sure that every single bit of flavour goes in. Add another taste of that onion paste water. I'm going to add some salt in, just grind this in. So I'm going to say roughly teaspoon and a half of salt. If you want to add any more. I'm going to add 2 heaped tablespoons of almond powder in. There you go. Give that a bit of a mix round. I'll maybe add just another taste of water. So I'm going to say I've probably added about a cup of water in already overall. But I mean, obviously, you know, just add it at a time, whatever you need. If it's too thick for you, then obviously add more water. If it's too thin, just reduce it down. So now for some sugar, and there's about 3 teaspoons. I'll leave this sitting, put the lid on at a medium high and let it cook for about 10 minutes. Again, I'll check that every few minutes to make sure there's nothing sticks. So folks, just back to check this again. It's getting a bit thick. It's obviously the almond powder. So what I'm going to do is add some more of that spiced water. I'll actually get some more boiling water and just add that to it. Just keep a close eye because it will stick at the bottom and go round the edges too. One other little small ingredient, 3/4 of a teaspoon of garam masala powder. I'm just going to taste this. It was about 2 teaspoons, I should have said, of sugar. I added in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I will add more sugar, but just not at the moment. I'm taking this off the heat. I'm going to turn the heat off. I don't know why I took it off when I have a gas hob, but anyway, there we go. I know there was yoghurt in the marinade, and again, this is totally optional. You know, so because there will be a taste of cream going in this. But this is my slight take, so I'm going to add another 2.5 teaspoons of yoghurt. So I've got the heat off. I've left the yoghurt, it's been sitting out for about half an hour. Better come leaving it sitting out so it gets that little bit, it comes to room temperature. I near said cool down, I did say that before. And my editor, who is my wife, castigated me on it and made a little emoji on the video that I did. See, I didn't have tomato soup, which I wouldn't have added anyhow, but anyway, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of good old tomato ketchup. There we are, and this is a cheap brand, so it's not sweet by any means, that's for sure. So it's kind of an orangey colour. So I'm going to turn this down, turn it down, turn it back on. My goodness gracious me. Turn it back on. And I'm going to put this at a kind of medium to medium low and just check it every so often, just to let that cook through. What I will also do is, and I know it will be sacrilege for some people, I will add in a few slices of red and green pepper or bell pepper, whatever part of the world you're in. Okay, back again. So I'm just going to add another taste of water. It's getting a bit thick and beginning to stick a little bit. Yes, and I did say I was going to add more sugars. There we are. Tablespoon, and I know those there are people that are purists and say, oh, don't add sugar in, and people say don't add so much in. You know, however, it's another small splash of water. Just so I can do other chores about the house. Like tidying up after myself. Lid on again. As you can see, almond powder still there. It's quite thick. But this curry is sauce, or the masala, the tikka masala sauce, is completed. You can see the oil surfacing there to the top. I am going to continue to let it cook, and I will add another splash of water in while I'm away. I'm going to taste it and see what it is like. And tell you folks, yes, there will be a bit of a kick because of the slight taste of curry powder, the cumin and the Kashmiri chilli. But obviously I added yoghurt, which you didn't have to do. But there will be some cream going to this also. It's not overly sweet, thank goodness. As I said, it is a big pot. There's a lovely taste of that, but very warm. Excuse me, I don't mean spicy. Straight from the pot, I've mouth like asbestos, but even that's not me. Okay folks, so just giving the tikka masala gravy a bit of a stir. And now what I'm going to do is, and it really will only need heated through, is in the chicken. Make sure that's all in. Snake a piece. The chicken tastes absolutely wonderful. So the flavour of the chicken, even though it's only going to be heated through, will give some more flavour to this curry. Those darkened bits of the chicken, absolutely wonderful. I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. One more slight addition to this, and I know I had kasuri methi in with the marinated chicken, so I'm just going to crumble about half a teaspoon of it in. Kasuri methi or fenugreek leaves, and then I'm going to add some cream to this. So I'm going to add roughly about 100 mils, 80 to 100 mils of cream, and it's what we would call here in Ireland double cream. Heavy cream as it would be known in in America, United States. Give that a really good mix. I have this on a smaller cooking ring. I'm going to heat this through gently. So what you see here is the finished product. I hope you enjoyed the recipe up to now. This is the finished product. It's only heating through. There's going to be no change. I'm just going to put the lid on, let it simmer for 10 minutes, and that will be it, ready to be served. Right folks, so on a plate, this is my take on a chicken tikka masala, and I have to say there's a wee hint of sweetness. You can taste certainly the almond powder coming through, and my god, wow, this is like absolutely yum. Yeah, I've surpassed myself with this chicken tikka masala. So what I'm going to say is, I'm really hungry. It's goodbye from me. Have a good weekend wherever you are in the world. See you the next time. Hope you like the recipe. Hope you try it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. See you soon. Rock on. Bye.